Good morning. Today, we're going to have an adult conversation. This is concerning current events. Uh, this concerns current events and discernment and what type of tools adults use, like logic and reason, experience, and the application of it, which we call wisdom. Let's take a walk through my forest, will you? And as we walk through the forest, I'm going to bring up, mushroom. Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. I am a skilled tradesman, mechanical engineering, skilled laborer, and all this. I've worked in a lot of fields throughout my life. And adults, such as myself, who use logic and reason, as a matter of fact, is one of our greatest tools. Out in the field, we start off our day in construction, understanding this simple principle of Murphy's Law, being that anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Throughout my years in apprenticeship, more mushrooms. I'll have to check those out later. Throughout my years in apprenticeships and working with some of the most finest examples of foremen, journeymen, tradesmen, engineers, and the best of them being those who have mastered this law, this universal law that applies to everything. For example, we start off our day. It could be any time throughout the year here in Missouri, winter, summer, spring, fall. And if you're in construction and you work out in the elements like I did for decades, you understand what weather can do to equipment. Anyhow, from a machine that we use in our trade, brand new off the shelf, could be a power tool, could be a big machinery, excavators and whatnot, right out into the field. From the moment we started off, things are happening. Things are breaking. There are things that we don't understand about the machine yet. And so we're learning. This is Murphy's Law. Something's going wrong. And those fine foremen, those adult men with adult minds, to watch them work. There's never been, these are the guys, I can't tell you how many times I've been in a situation where we're fucked. There's no way we're going to get the job done today, but not with these amazing human beings, these Americans who are out there for decades and decades building and constructing and solving problems that we generally don't see, because most of us today live on our couch or on a computer screen, and we are separated, full flight from reality. Find ourselves in a society that is probably one of the most emotionally immature, inexperienced in real life living society. And so what we're doing is we're applying a discernment tool that adult men, women have used since the dawn of time. It's Murphy's Law. These fine foremen, these fine engineers, they know how to handle these situations because they train for it. So I want you to think about that, especially with what you see today being current events. These platforms, you can discern that the way things are rolled out, the things that are done, they're planned, they're flawless, yet I understand out here in the field how many things can go wrong and the levels of organization and planning it takes just to get through one simple day. For instance, I buy a brand new chainsaw right off the shelf. I'm 18. I've lived in my mom's basement my whole life. I just have a inkling that tree right there, I'm going to cut it down. And I go buy two of the most expensive chainsaws right off the shelf. I know how to use a chainsaw. I've seen it on TV. I've played that video game, when you're out there logging. Yeah, I've seen it on TV, the reality show or a logging show. I can, yeah. There's so many factors with this particular tool, right? Because just so you know, that chainsaw, built around that chainsaw, is an entire industry. And the men who actually know how to operate this tool have many years of experience and instruction. The things that can go wrong and just cutting down one simple tree are enough to tell you that Murphy's Law, when applied, that's just one example. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Okay? I put the wrong gas in that chainsaw. Oh man, that tree's not getting cut down. It's windy outside. There's all kinds of factors. Someone calls and bothers you. An animal comes running up. All kinds of things. I could trip and fall and hurt my arm. I see it all the time, right? The chain breaks. All kinds of shit. Right out of the box. That's reality. That's Murphy's Law. And you don't have any experience with that tool. Guess what you're going to do? You're not going to get through the day and fell that tree. But that's okay. Because here comes an experienced journeyman. He's trained and trained and trained with Murphy's Law. He knows how when a problem comes up. He can even see a problem come up before it even comes up with experience. Are you with me? So, now the situation is you're being asked to abandon logic and reason. You're being asked to throw out one of the most important natural laws out there, which is Murphy's Law. From the shelf to the tools to the tree to everything that can happen, this tree, yeah, you managed to cut it down. You managed to cut it down, but not without an experienced foreman, an experienced woodsman, an experienced logger. It was an experienced logger that will bring that tree down and accomplish a flawless fucking day, which is pretty rare, even for them. But that's what we're talking about right now. By some miracle, some 18-year-old mentally ill boy was able to, from the shelf, no experience whatsoever, able to fell, not this tree, let's call it more like a redwood tree. That's what we're talking about. He was able to fell that tree flawlessly. Right? He got a little help. In order to actually make that happen, he would have had to have fucking trained, because the only people capable of such things as felling a tree are experienced, trained men. So you tell me, who was in that fucking school? You're telling me to abandon logic, reason, Murphy's Law? Someone did die in that school, didn't they? And they were children. So another thing you're trying to tell me, to abandon logic and reason and accept that what story you're fucking telling is that it wasn't a trained soldier in that fucking school, which it was. And he didn't get assistance with some other trained soldiers on the outside. Now where are we at? Where are we now as a nation when they're killing children? For what reason? You better wake up. You better grow up. And you better start applying logic and reason and being an adult, because this is an adult conversation. I know. But I choose the higher road. The highest fucking mountain. The most moral place I can find. Because I'm going to be accused someday of a crime, which is not abandoning logic and reason, not abandoning laws, universal laws, and accepting lies. So you can what? Because when I stand before my creator, I promise you, you're going to be there too, motherfucker. And I'm a witness, and I am observing everything that is happening right now. And you're not getting past fucking go, asshole, on that high mountain. You're here. You're here forever. You don't get past me. Big bad wolf. Scary. Yeah. But not as scary as a motherfucker who chooses love. Logic, reason, love, power, wisdom, courage. Wake up, America. This isn't a political thing. This isn't a religious thing. This isn't anything. We all need to work together. We need to fucking have a hands across America and say no to this shit. The buck stops here. This country is the last hope for the fucking world. Quit being selfish. Quit being a materialistic turd. Your pensions are gone. All of it. Your children are dying. 100,000 a year from fentanyl overdoses. Have you seen the numbers right now for the ages between 25 and 35? Tripled. Suicide, drug addiction, sadness, hopelessness. Hopelessness. Who put us there? And here's the second thing. If any of you motherfuckers are watching this and you're wondering what I'm about, this is what I'm about. When I'm in a position of authority and I go out there, I'm responsible for everything that happens under everyone. You want all the benefits of fucking having the authority, but none of the consequences of your mistakes. So even if it's just as simple as that, you're incompetent turds, you're gonna be held accountable. You're gonna be held accountable because that's another law that you cannot break in this fucking realm. So don't be mad at me. You can try and label me whatever you want. I'm just a father, a husband, and a fucking son of God. Maybe even something more. But we're gonna find out soon, ain't we? Don't worry, I ain't mad. But it does end here. Yeah. You better pray. You better pray to your fucking whatever God it is. All right, well, now mine be done.